Folks, welcome to this week's Ag Report. So, in agriculture, you may see pictures, old time pictures. The one you probably think of all the time is the husband and wife standing in front of their house, and he's got his pitchfork with him. But you may see pictures of folks taking carriages to church in the old days, or you may see a parade that they have little streamers tied on the carriage wheels and things like that, or may see horses decorated up, that kind of stuff. You may see different church social pictures of ladies in hats and Easters and that kind of stuff. So thought I'd share with you today. As a lot of y'all may remember, times change and we have digital things now. But not so many years ago, just like yearbooks in high school that you get, your senior year, that kind of stuff, and junior year, and has all your classmates, and then they have candid pictures in there and stuff like that. Well, a lot of the churches used to do church books or albums. And so they would hire a photographer, and they would, get all of the families together in the church and take individual pictures. And it was just like your yearbook that you had in school. You would open it up, and it'd have the pastor and the music leader and the youth minister and different trips maybe that the youth took. And then it would have the members and everything. A lot of times those members would either be grouped in families, or if they were, single, they would be by themselves, that kind of stuff. And so that was something that, every probably 3 to 5 years, churches used to do, and you could kind of go back and, and see that stuff. So I thought I'd share with you my church annual picture and kind of what that was and everything. So it at the time was called Ferris Avenue Baptist Church. It was on Ferris Avenue there. It is now relocated to out on North Highway 77. It's called the Avenue Church, but we were Ferris Avenue in those days. I believe we're circa 1989. Okay, I think is kind of the time period that we were working with, and so the church was going to have their family album, and so they were getting everybody together in time slots and things like that. We had a fellowship hall in those days, is what you call it. That's where you usually had your meals and gatherings and things like that. So they'd set up the camera in there, and so I thought, well, you know what, I don't remember my age or what have you, but anyways, I thought, I'm gonna take the picture myself in there. I think I took one with the family, but I also took an individual, picture in there. And I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to take a picture with my horse. I think that kind of looked nice. Thought that'd be kind of unique. And so anyways, my horse was a double registered. Her name was Dirty Drawers. She was a registered Palomino, registered quarter horse. And we did things together, and she was very well behaved. So I thought, well, I'm going to bring her up there and take a picture. And you may have heard me say, did he really say Dirty Drawers? That was her registered name. So let me explain that. Man that trained her and that I bought her from registered her as Dirty Drawers. She was a Palomino, so she was kind of that yellowy kind of hair color with a blonde mane. But and you can't see it in the picture there at the church, but if you looked at her on one side, one hip, she had this unique marking that looked like you threw a bucket of brown paint at her, and it just kind of ran down her hip. And so she had, this streak or this blotch of dark brown hair right there on her hip. Contrast to that yellow that she had, and it wasn't like you may see a calico cat where it's a sharp defined line. It was just a blotch that kind of faded in and faded out and looked like she had rubbed herself on a freshly painted wall. thus the name Dirty Drawers is where that came from. So little bit of uniqueness. I'm sure there was somebody at the American Quarter Horse Association that was registering that thought, really, is this what they're going to call this horse? So we got our time slot, and so we kind of came in the side door there, and me and Dirty Drawers walked down the hallway, and we waited in line with everybody else, and coming into the fellowship hall. And so it got to be our turn. And I remember the camera guy, when we came through the door into the area where he had his screen, his big lights and all that kind of stuff set up. His eyes kind of got a little bit big when we rounded the corner, and I said, I'm ready for my picture. And he was, well, okay. And he goes, you sure she's not going to, flinch when the lights go off or anything? I said, no, I think she'll be pretty good. She didn't mind watching everybody else's pictures being took. So we went up there and got us a nice little pose. She had her a nice leather headstall on there and was looking good. And so we got our picture in the archives of the church album with my horse. Not sure how many other folks may have done that, but we did. And our pastor and everything, he was like, well, that's definitely kind of unique there. So to this day, every once in a while, I'll kind of share that picture, and I shared it recently. The church was kind of having a reminisce back to the old days, and they were sharing some pictures out of the album there. So I shared my horse picture with Dirty Drawers there. So, like I say, agriculture, has a sense of humor. We're not all grumpy old men, out in our fields running kids off or riding four-wheelers through the field in there. So we do, kind of have fun sometimes, and do things kind of unique. So, anyways, thought I'd share with you that today. Kind of a fun little time in history there, and always something kind of fun to go back and look at. So, hope you've enjoyed this kind of stroll back to days gone by, you might say, and the innocence of youth. Y'all take care now.